so many turn their backs on. Why would the church turn their back on you? Or at least not, I know they're not being helpful.
It's a source of great sorrow and concern for me because I'm an active Catholic in good standing, always have been my whole life. And I just think there's, unfortunately, when the laity decides to strike out and live gospel in a very radical way, unfortunately, even by the hierarchy, the church hierarchy, you are held suspect.
Why? Well, why don't you then say, okay, let's make an arrangement, Catholic Church. Let's come together, and you can support me. I'm doing the work of God. We're doing this work together in Patterson.
I tried that before I found my house. I went to a very fine priest who had a convent that was vacant. It was in ruin. And I went to him and I pleaded with him. I said, the poor need a retreat house. Would you let me revamp the house? He said, well, I'll consider it. He said, and we met a couple more times. He said, you know, if you can assure me that you can get it renovated, you may never own it. I said, that's all right. I said, could it be the parish's retreat house? He sent me a letter from a lawyer saying that I must take out insurance claims and indemnity clauses, have the work completed within, I think, 2 years. Bottom line, they were only going to charge me $1,500 a month rent. And I said, you know, this doesn't even deserve a reply. So for people who rash judge me and think that I'm not working within the context of cooperating with the hierarchy, that's incorrect.
But you know, the other thing about this, Mayme, which is fascinating to me, is that you said to me before we get on the air that often I catch more hell than praise.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You also catch some hell from those particularly close to you.
Well, you know, I come from an Irish background where a lot of times people worked very hard to get themselves out of a very impoverished situation and move out to the suburbs. And then I come along as the direct representative of somebody who went back into the middle of that, and they just don't understand it. And
does your family get it?
Oh, not at all.
Your family doesn't get it?
Oh, no.
Do they think you're crazy?
They understand me, they know my walk with the poor, but I think they're concerned about my personal safety.
They're worried about something happening to you. But don't they have a legitimate reason to be concerned? You are in one of the toughest neighborhoods in America with some folks out there who would do anything, some of them, to get their next fix.
Well, you know what, Steve? This speaks to me of God, because people say, oh, you have so much courage. I have no courage. I'm afraid of my own shadow. I'm scared to death of everything. But, you know, I also have no fear. And maybe this is somewhat part of the situation that is spoken about when God says, I will give you peace that will surpass all understanding. I'm kind of living that out now, you know.
What is it like, Mayme, to be able to counsel someone who is a drug addict, suicidal, feeling as if there's no reason for them to be on this earth? What is it like to be able to counsel them and get them into a place and help turn their lives around?
Well, you know, Steve, I facilitate actually nothing. I just am there to suggest alternatives. But, you know, the common denominator is that we're all human beings. We were meant to be a family. Somehow we lost track of that. But, of course, it's tremendous satisfaction for a person to even conceive of saying, yeah, okay, I see a hand kind of reaching out into the pits of hell to just kind of say, come on, let's get out of this mess, you know?
Yeah.
Don't sit in your mess. Come on, there's so much out there. There's so much waiting for you, and there's so much help available. I mean, there's wonderful counselors, there's the rooms, the 12-step programs, the churches. Sometimes people just need a little hand-holding to say, come on, let me point the direction, here you go.
And that's your role?
Yeah.
You facilitate?
Yeah.
In the couple minutes we have left here, Mayme, and we'll put up the telephone number of Trinity Retreats one more time so people can get more information and give, if you will. You talked to me before, again, we get on the air, about restitution that we need, and I think you mean affluent, comfortable, suburban, white America needs, that's what I thought you meant, needs to do restitution for what?
Well, you know, I just feel that many inequities have taken place over the years for different races, and there are some of us who feel that saying, gee, I'm sorry, or that was back in the day, is not enough. Do you know, I feel like you have to prove with your life.
What do we owe?
I think as human beings we owe compassion, we owe understanding, we owe the ability to never let what happened again. I don't even like to use the word slave because I think that's a connotation that should be dropped. These are people who were enslaved by enslavers.
That was then. Some say that was then.
Right,
This is now. And all sorts of people are suffering today. White,
right,
black, Latino,
exactly.
Asian.
But that's why I'm very cautious to express that across the board. It's whoever is suffering, whoever is in need, whoever needs just to be pointed a way out, that you don't have to live in this kind of pain on a continuous basis because it's of socialization,
Right.
because of conditioning. You know, just a little bit further ahead is the light, you know. And for me, my faith speaks to me, God. However you understand God, for me, God is the light, you know.
Final quote. Everything
Everything is grace.
is grace.
Yeah. You can turn it into grace.
Any situation.
Yeah.
Mayme, I don't know whether you are the Mother Teresa of Patterson, but you are a very special person. And you're making your own mark. And the people of Patterson and the people of the state and this nation are better for it. And you honor us by your presence. Thank you so much.
God bless you. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Appreciate it. Stay right there.